Hello, viewers. Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to people from different parts of the world. Welcome, everyone. And today, as you can see, that we have beautiful and a wonderful soul, Jill Sharon Kimmelman, with us. So, welcome, dearest Jill. It is an honor to have you on Splendid 7.
That's exactly how I feel. It's an honor, and I'm delighted to be here. Thank you for including me.
Thank you too. And viewers, now we will very quickly start uh, Splendid 7 question answers. But before that, I want to introduce uh, dear Jill with a short bio. So Jill Sharon Kimmelman has been twice nominated for the Pushcart Prize. Recent publications include its Vita Brevis Press, Spillwords Press, Fine Lines, Love of Food, and multiple anthologies. She has published You Are the Poem, a three-themed debut collection of poetry, art, and photography. November 2021. That's great. And passions passions of Jill are reading aloud, cooking, photography, and theater. She lives in Delaware, USA, with her husband Tim and is proud mother of her son Jordan. That's a beautiful bio, Jill.
Thank you.
And
You know what happens is I give my bio whenever it's requested, and I divide it into paragraphs to make it so easy for anybody to edit it. This one, you got a bio that someone else had edited, so that was an easy one to work through.
true. And it was simple and it was beautiful.
Thank you.
And now, very quickly, Joe will start as I have already told you the rules, but I'll tell tell again that is 7 questions.
Mhm.
And then you'll read your poem, then I'll read thought of the day, and then you'll give golden pen message, and then we'll wrap up the show.
Okay.
Now I will take out my specs because this is the only part of the show I wear them. So now,
Can you see without them? I can't
yes,
see without mine. I was 4 when I got my first pair of glasses. I look like the dorkiest kid in the school, but I literally, it's the first thing I reach for in the morning. Most nights I fall asleep with them on. If you have to really trust a hairstylist when you take your glasses off.
Yeah, you're right. But these are just for show. But I love them, so I wear them when I read the rules.
Okay.
So, shall we start with the questions?
Am
Your
I,
yes,
are you going, you're going to ask me 7 questions?
yes,
Or,
yes.
okay, I'm ready.
So, first question comes: is define love in your own words.
Define love in my own words. Love is, it's a myriad. It allows you to let those you love and those who love you to be accepted fully and embraced completely for the person that you are. Love is not about making you change into something else. If you love a pet, you love them unconditionally. Well, apply that to someone in the human world. You love a man, you love a woman, you love friends, you love partners. You think you'll never get past the loss of a partner. And then again, your heart risks, and sometimes you're rewarded with another love. Love is, it's critical in our lives to have that focus, to feel that support, to know that someone 6,000 miles away from you can call you on the phone and make you laugh, or talk to you for 7 years, watching their children grow up in front of you. To me, love has no bounds. It doesn't have anything to do with gender, race, religion, skin color. Poetry is a perfect example because our poetry community online recognizes none of those barriers and allows us all to connect through one beautiful way, writing together for each other.
True, true. That's a beautiful answer to this question.
Well, that was off the cuff. So,
and our next question comes: what is the first word that comes to your mind when you listen to the following words? So, answer will be in one word. Flowers. What is the first word that comes to your mind when you listen to the word flowers?
save,
Colors.
heart,
Food.
love.
Wow. That's a wonderful perspective, different perspective to food.
Well,
Next,
I call what I do in terms of playing in my kitchen when I'm strong enough and letting my imagination soar. I call that cooking from the heart. And my greatest joy is to have a student in my kitchen who has no idea what they don't know or no idea of how much they do know. So it's always a joy to work with someone in my kitchen. And since that's how I made my living in the culinary arts arena for a couple of decades, I have found that cooking from the heart simply means you're not taking something out of a box or out of the freezer or out of a refrigerated meal. You're taking the time to put together a healthy meal. It may only take 20 minutes or less, but it's something that's nourishing not only your belly, it's nourishing your heart and your soul, and your mind will think about it the next time you go shopping.
so this is viewers, this is such a motherly message one can give. Food is just not the food which you eat. It is something which nourishes not only your body but your heart.
Yes.
Beautiful, respected. And next question would be: if you are asked to make the best use of a garden full of flowers, what would be your things to do?
I love peonies. Peonies in any color are my very favorite flower. So I would photograph, as I have done successfully, I would use the fresh flowers and I would save them for I would photograph them and put them in various ways, not just photographing a vase of peonies, not at all. I would photograph the peony as if I was holding it in my palm and could smell the scent. I would make sure that when I compose a photograph with a peony, that I combine something that is not actually a 3D fresh flower. I've used hat boxes and photographed them with real flowers. And my mentor, my husband, Tim, is a former professional photographer. And he kept saying, do you know what you're doing? You're losing the light. Are you sure you don't want some help? I'm like, I know what I'm doing. I'm going to get it. And I did. I got it perfectly. and I'll be more than happy to send it to you to enjoy. But it was a hat box with sheets of music with the notes, and also it looked distressed, so it was vintage, and all it was a hat box top. And then I took the ribbons of it and I placed them with a scarlet fresh peony. And I'm so proud of that particular one. But I absolutely love peonies. And because their season is so limited in the United States, the only way to truly enjoy them, other than when you actually have them on your table, is to be able to photograph them and photograph them well, so that you have something that will give you pleasure until the next year when they come back.
Wow. Actually, I guess that you'll, this will be a part of your answer because viewers have seen various photographs, different photographs sent by Jill, and she is also a very good photographer. Maybe not professional like her husband, but she photographs very nicely. Close up is there, and beautiful photographs I've seen from Jill.
I give them as gifts. I absolutely love to give them as gifts. They're virtual gifts, but they're also something that is going to bring pleasure.
Yeah.
And I love that. I love knowing that I brought pleasure to someone.
So nice. Next question.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like more? A bunch of flowers or a basket of fruits?
I would combine them. I would definitely combine them.
Right.
There is nothing like a mango that's the juice is dripping down your chin. If you eat it in the sea or the ocean, as your feet tiptoe from the sand into the water, and that taste of the mango. And if you're not fortunate enough to have a mango, then in our country, I would say a pear in the autumn, having a pear with that juice dripping down. I actually have some apples and pears with cinnamon and a medley of peppercorns and apple juice, natural style, and pear nectar. And I'm preparing that to make a caramelized apple pear cake. I'm going to do that this afternoon. So
this is a beautiful, this sounds
and
very
I'll put
delicious.
some flowers on the top, the edible ones for you. And when you give me your address, I'll send it.
Oh,
Okay.
so for viewers also, this sounds very delicious and tasty. You can try it. And next question comes. If you are sponsored to take up a social cause, what would it be? Education, old age home, or anything else?
I think that as a mentor, I would say that education, because how else do we get from the bottom to the very top? We have common sense, we have wisdom that we've learned from ancestors and closer family as well as friends. But what we absolutely need to get our world to be a safer, healthier place for our children and our children's children, not to mention each other, we have to focus on education, wherever that takes us, if that's STEM or if that's poetry. My area would be to find impoverished kids, and there are plenty in India alone, where these kids do not have a home. They live on the streets. They come to school and receive food, but they also receive a way of unburdening their hearts. Those are scarred hearts in kids that are ages 7, 8, 9, 10. Normally, you wouldn't even find these children in a school, but there's a young man out there who I have tremendous respect for, and it's Saeed Khan, and I know you know him. And Saeed has brought together in just about 2 years, he brought to life a deathbed promise that he gave to his father and said, I will show gender equality, and I will teach children from all over, starting in Bangladesh. So someone like that who's living that experience is so much wiser than any of us, yet he gives us the opportunity to give input, to add to all the wise things he's doing, and to take different perspectives from so many of his global ambassadors. It's an honor to be a part of that. Although I'm sure I would fail STEM in a heartbeat, I know from the artistic perspective, I could talk about the inspiration that poetry plays in healing. That's a really big thing, is if people could understand the benefits of poetry as they come into the healing that is needed. When you have scarred hearts and scarred minds and bruised bodies, nobody expects you to sit at a desk and write an entire novel. But what about trying to just free associate a couple of words, and maybe what you have is a haiku, or maybe you have the first stanza of a poem you never thought yourself capable of writing. So I would guess the answer would be education.
That's something very precious from your side, and really education is something we all have our duties towards society, so we can actually do something in this area.
Yes.
Next question comes, cat or dogs, what do you like more?
I grew up on a 600-acre farm, and we had ponies, and we also had lots of cats that ran around, but they were barn cats. None of us ever thought of them as pets.
Okay.
So what we had was we had large dogs, we had collies. Collies are great family dogs. They're very protective of the children. We had 2 collies when I was growing up, one after the other, and I adored them. And I would love to have a big dog again, but we live in a 1-bedroom condominium. So the first thought I had was, what about if we get a cat? Because I had had a cat before. And Tim said, I'm allergic to cats. And I said, well, just go take some Zyrtec. He said, no, honey, I'm allergic as in my throat will close. You'll watch me die. Is that really worth it to have a cat? So I understood that he was seriously allergic. But we do have an idea, when we're both healthy and able, we want to get a cabochon, which is a mix between a King Charles Spaniel, they have those floppy ears, and a Bichon, very complacent, very quiet, not yappy, about half the size of my little desk here. And we already have a name picked out. The name is called Mitzvah, and mitzvah in Hebrew means a good deed. So every time I drop a pill, I say, and I pick it up, I say, there's a life, mitzvah. Mitzvah just got another life. And it'll be a little while until we'll be able to have mitzvah, and both of us healthier and able to be able to participate fully. But yes, we want very much to have a small dog. Absolutely.
Wow. So, so the last, sorry, the last
This
question.
is the last question? It
No,
goes so fast.
next question is the last question. That is which I'm going to read. What does photos signify according to you?
Could you ask that again, please?
What does photographs signify according to you?
Oh, that's easy. History. Absolutely. History. My entire home is a one-bedroom condominium. And the moment that Tim walked in the door, the first time he came to visit for coffee, and he said, "You have yellow walls." I said, "I do." And I'm like, I'm waiting to find out. He said, "I always wanted to live where there were yellow walls." And
Oh,
I'm thinking, hey, Buster, you're just here for coffee. But so, in my opinion, history is what you want to have around you. Everything, I don't have anything new. Everything I have has history. I have my grandparents' wedding portrait from 1939, which you can also see in my book, the paperback copy of the book. I have all kinds of vintage photos, original paintings for the book, um, connections to people that are long gone, but yet I feel them in my heart. And then anything at all related to my late father is precious to me. His high school diploma, his wedding portrait with my mom, anything related to my dad. I was his first child. Um, his name was Jack. He named me Jill. And in my book is the final poem that went in is called For Jack from Your Jill. Actually, I may read that today instead of the one I was going to. It was the most deeply personal poem I had ever written. And it was hard because I couldn't separate myself from the poet. But I think I got it right. And it's a love letter to my dad, thanking him for bringing Tim into my life.
wow.
Yeah,
That would be great. I think it's a selection of poem which you read is your choice, but I think it sounds really, very precious if you read that poem for us. And
sure.
it's a very wonderful answer that photographs are history and they remind you of your loved ones when they're gone or when they're far away. You just have a look in the photograph and you feel happy. I just for the information, Jill, we have only 7 minutes left, so you can read
Mhm.
some poem and then we can move towards wrapping up the show.
I absolutely enjoyed this a great deal. If you would like me to share this poem, I'll be happy to.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. We
then,
have 7 minutes
okay,
left. Yeah, yeah.
um,
Please go
I
ahead.
can show you the 70s style. You see how we framed it
Wow.
in a 70s style? Whenever people ask, like, what was the clothing like in the 70s? You just say plaid.
Can you please show it once again? Oh,
So
photograph.
again, sure.
No, photograph is not visible. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yes, yes.
And we were dancing in front of an orchestra celebrating my grandmother's 60th birthday. And we came back to the tables, and my mother said, "You two look like two lumbering lumberjacks without an ounce of rhythm between you."
Oh,
Okay. For Jack from your Jill. You live inside my heart. Whisper sage wisdom every day. My imagination soars as never before, spiraling beyond all earthbound dreams. You longed for my happiness, for your daughter's sweet smile to return. Your compass, a father's pride, to find the perfect man, to learn who I am, adore me, worship me, as you did me in turn. Somehow you knew just how it would unfold. From love-driven desire, you envisioned it all, where the dance would lead us, how the chips would fall. This tale of love unveiled itself just as you foretold. First, you had to find him, not an easy task. Then, to understand his journey, anticipate the questions only you knew I would ask. Education, profession, each met your highest bar, gave no hint of challenges ahead. Would he make your dreams his own, make me his shining star? He had to be a man of honor. Surely you had doubts. My kindred spirit, perfect love. What exactly was this guy all about? A man of the backwoods, his camera never far. Images of forest paths, midnight starry skies. You searched deep within his soul, sought to embrace the lamentation of his plaintive cries. His heart was but a satchel for his unheard pleas, along with prayers, plans, schemes. Hope lived on, it flourished, emboldened by his dreams. Living each day within love's tapestry, basking in its golden glow, like fine wine, a love enriched by age, as Yeats' poems, each more beautiful when we turn the page. We are pieces on life's board of chess, each move an answered prayer, delivery of dreams. Once I was your very own princess. Now I am his newly crowned queen. You would love him, Dad, be proud to call him son. His love is true. He treasures me like the rare gem you always said I am. Though we can never go back, if only we could. What an extraordinary gift it has been to be the Jill to your Jack. When my time is nigh, I know I will not be alone, for you will be there waiting, arms open wide to embrace me, reclaim me, joyously welcome me home.
Wow.
I love you, Dad.
Really, your message must have, it reaches hearts. Even I can connect to it, and it is simply a very beautiful poem you shared with us. Thank you so much for sharing. I don't have any
Oh,
to
it's my pleasure. Thank you.
express the way, the emotions you have imbibed, you have just put in this poem. I am really, touched. And I think now is the time we can actually wrap up the show now, because the uh, it is very I think only 1 minute left, and it will just sign out. So before that, I think Jill, we can say bye together to our viewers. And it was a wonderful poem. I think there can be, this is the best uh, way to wrap up this show. And after this poem, it is full of emotions. I think the only thing we can do is just, I would like to say thank you to Jill for sharing poem and being a part of Splendid Seven. And to all the daddies, girls, it's a beautiful poem.
Thank you.
Now we can say bye to our viewers, Jill.
Thank you so much for having me. And for those watching, thank you. I appreciate every opportunity because every opportunity is a new friend.
Oh, so great. So
Thank
bye,
you.
viewers.
And namaste. Yes.
Namaste.